Hi, everyone. I am Jessica Allen, and I have a little bit over 20 years in the profession of education. The majority of my career, I have worked with data systems and analytics. This experience has provided me the opportunity to see what it takes to have high quality systems that really ensure data integrity, to look at that data and translate it into effective action plans, and then to take that data and those action plans and present them back to a lot of various stakeholders. So, whether this was in the area of K 12, where my career began, or in higher education, where I am now, data systems have really just been the undercurrent, consistent piece of every job that I have ever held in my career. Additionally, my most recent experiences in higher education have grown my knowledge of educator preparation and of our review processes for accountability. So, in my current role as the assessment and accreditation coordinator, I not only oversee the process for our science of reading audits and manage everything to do with our annual reporting and on-site visits for state review. I also serve as our Title II coordinator. So I have, again, a lot of experience with data in all of those pieces and in presenting those back to the correct audiences depending on what it is that we're needing to communicate and who we are communicating that to. Finally, in the last couple of years, I've been really fortunate to participate in several communities of practice. Two of those being the Aspiring Teacher Test rubric creation and working on high quality instructional materials, both in training, and I've served on panels for that. I feel like both of these really help bridge the gap between the expectations and realities of K-12 education and how we in higher ed can truly prepare pre-service teachers for those experiences and expectations. So I think that all of these things really have show that I have the ability to be successful in this education professional to role within the Department of Education. I'm going to move into the two questions that I was asked to respond to. The first being about the LEARNS Act, specifically the pieces that are in supporting educator retention and recruitment. So one of the great things that I think LEARNS did was set aside funding for a lot of different initiatives. Two of those being the increase in initial teacher pay and the Teacher Academy Scholarship. I know in my current field, I have pre-service teachers that will switch, or students that will switch their major to education because of the change in that initial teacher salary. I know other students that when they graduate and they get their first classroom, they're surprised at how much they're actually making as a teacher. So I really do believe that increase in teacher salary has helped with recruitment of teachers into the field. I also think that Teacher Academy Scholarship has been instrumental, not only in recruitment, but I think we're going to see the effects of that in retention as well. So it's allowing students to go to school to get this additional scholarship so they don't have to worry as much about paying for their education. The other great piece about that is that when students get that scholarship during their residency semesters, that's one less thing they have to worry about. Again, paying for their education, but also potentially in additional jobs to be able to do that. So what it's allowing them the opportunity to do is really just settle in and get a great, deep, rich experience within that residency. So they fully know the expectation of what it is to be a classroom teacher. So I think we're going to actually see that help with retention strategies, because students who get that scholarship, if they don't want it to turn into a loan and have to pay it back, they are supposed to stay in the field for the number of years they received the scholarship. I think this is going to help us kind of get over that bump that new novice teachers really experience, that stress that they have those first few years, and help them see that once they settle into their classroom, it's actually a very worthy position and career to have. Finally, the last question was about data that pertains to recruitment and retention, those key elements, and then how to report that back out. So I think there's really two key pieces that need to be evaluated. One of those being just the climate of teaching, just like a climate survey of the education profession specific to Arkansas. I think we get a lot of press, not necessarily good, through social media about what life is like as an educator. But if we can get that same information about what it is to be an educator in Arkansas, maybe we can shift that narrative and help recruit more teachers into the field. I also think collecting data on how well EPPs prepare students for their first classroom is really instrumental in retaining teachers in the field. I know that there are already surveys collected on that. I think we could go deeper. And I know that the state has talked about creating a dashboard or a portal for higher education, similar to what they have for K-12. I think that would be one of the greatest benefits to promoting and pushing this data that we gather back out to our stakeholders. With various levels of viewing, people could see information that is really specific to their interests and what what they want to see about education in Arkansas. So again, I think that there's a lot that we can still do for recruitment and retention, but I think we're doing a lot and that we will start seeing positive shifts very soon.